Welcome, students, to this lesson on correction of errors by Dr. Smrity Sonal from Krishna Jayanti College, Bangalore. This PPT that I'm going to share is going to talk about the various ways in which we make errors and the various means that can help us minimize those correction in terms of our writing. So this PPT and this video is specially dedicated to the correction of errors in terms of writing. However, there are various spheres in which we, as speakers of English, as writers of English, make errors, but then we are going to be limiting this video only to writing. Now, talking about the very basic, the most common forms of error that we make while we use this English language. Now, there are various errors like in the usage of grammar that we make. And the first one is the spelling of the words. Most of the times we mix up spellings that are almost alike to one another. The second one is the grammatical structuring of sentences. The way we put on grammar, that is a kind of error that we do. The third one is the incorrect use or no use of punctuation. Punctuation defines a kind of pause in any sentence, and so these punctuation convey a different kind of meaning. And when our writing is full of punctuation, the right punctuation, it conveys the same tone as one can hear while they are speaking. So the same tone is conveyed while we are writing, and it makes the writing more like a conversational style. It gives more clarity in its meaning. So use of punctuation becomes very important, where to take a pause, where to speed up, where to slow down. And this is what is in punctuation. And an incorrect use of punctuation can lead again to various problems from the perspective of the one who is listening or reading in their understanding. Now, the fourth one is the odd combination of words or the choice of individual word to describe something. Sometimes we use certain words that are not relevant to describe some situation, some scenario, and there are other better words that can be used to describe that same scenario. But then, since we have chosen a wrong word or a kind of word that lacks full description for that situation, there we lack, and these are the errors that can lead to miscommunication. The most important idea behind identifying your errors and correcting it is so that we can smoothen the kind of conversation that we have, the kind of communication that we have. And the more stronger the communication is, the better the person is able to understand what you really want to convey, your message. Now, moving ahead with how can these mistakes be corrected? Here are some of the ways which will identify in this PPT. It will tell you various areas in which we, as speakers of English, as writers of English specifically, make mistakes. And these mistakes, if kind of minimized, it can lead to a better communication. Now, the first one that we see in or under the category of most commonly made errors. The first one is the subject verb agreement errors, and then use of wrong preposition or preposition combination, the punctuation usage, the usage of noun, the apostrophe usage errors, and there are some misplaced modifiers, ending sentences with preposition, mixing up spellings in also similar words, mixing up possessives and plurals, and mixing up adverbs with adjectives. Now we are only going to focus on a few. Now the first one, or very commonly made error, is subject verb agreement error, where we have the subject for a sentence and then we have the verb, but then the verb does not agree with the sentence. Could be the sentence is plural and the verb that you are using is singular. Or maybe the sentence is singular, but the verb that you are using is plural. We can see this by an example like the first one, Ram and Mohan is here, Ram and Mohan are here. Now, Ram is one subject, Mohan is the other. But when we combine them both, it is Ram and Mohan together become plural. They are no more singular. So two singulars made plural. And is telling you that both of them have been added. So 1 plus 1 makes it 2. Now the subject is plural. And so we should have a verb that sticks to that plural subject, that is are. And the usage of is wrong. Now, similarly, we have some other examples like one of my friends are an engineer. That is incorrect because we have a group of friends, could be 3, 4, 6, 10. But then we are only selecting one person from that group. That is one friend. And so whatever we are talking about in this sentence is regarding or concerning that one selected friend out of that group. So now, because the subject is that one single friend out of a group of friends, the verb that we are going to use to describe that is going to be a singular verb. That is, one of my friends is an engineer and not are an engineer. Similarly, we have a few more examples here. And then now we will move on to the second category, that is the use of wrong preposition or preposition combination. Now we have certain prepositions that are used in combination with a few words, and they are, when used together, grammatically correct. Now we see that sometimes we pair up wrong preposition with some words and it comes up or results in a kind of error in your usage of English grammar. Now, the first example, as we see, he wanted his team to be the best in the world. It cannot be of the world. So here we have a wrong combination. And if you use a wrong preposition, it generally or normally leads to a wrong result and can convey a different meaning from the intended meaning of the speaker or the writer. Now we have some more examples like that, like you can see uh, a very common error that we make in terms of the usage of days, of months, and of year. Now, if you are talking about a specific day, a specific time, then you have to use on. Like my birthday is on 10th of November because it is one specific day. And then when you say it is in 10th of November, it is wrong in terms of the preposition combination because in brings in a wide range. November can start from the 1st of November and end on the 30th of November. So when you say on November, you're not having one specific day, but then a whole range. So in that whole range, it has to be in. Like my birthday is on 10th of November, or I was born on 10th of November 1995. That is a specific day. But then the meeting, or you can say that the function is in November because the function can be on any day from 1st to 30th. Similarly, if we are only talking about the year without mentioning a perfect or a specific date, then we can say the uh, the earthquake the earthquake came up in the year 2015 because we are not talking about a specific day or a specific date or a specific time. And when we talk about a year 2015, it can start from 1st of January 2015 to 31st of December 2015, any day. So that whole range will have in. Similarly, we have other examples of the preposition combination errors, like when we use the means like vehicle, we say by bus. I came by bus. And when you say in bus, that conveys a different meaning. On bus, that conveys a different meaning. So we have to understand the difference between in, on, and all the other various forms of preposition. Similarly, we have punctuation usage when we use the punctuation like comma, full stop in wrong ways, in wrong manner, and that can alter the meaning of the sentence, giving a wrong message or a wrong meaning to the reader. Now, the usage of nouns, sometimes we use the noun in a wrong manner. Like there are some nouns that are proper noun and has to start with a capital letter. Like some of the names, some of the country names, some of the city names, some of the specific mountains or rivers. And when we write it with a small letter, it becomes a mistake. And so these usage of noun with the proper noun with a capital letter has to be taken care of throughout when you write. Now we have some apostrophe usage error, like when and how are we using apostrophe? Now, most common errors are in terms of possession. When you talk about this is my mother's pen. So when you say mother's, you have to have an apostrophe before the S. But then when you have a plural, like my brothers are, that time you don't need an apostrophe. And sometimes there are apostrophe mistakes like girls, school, and that girl's umbrella. Now, when we are saying that girl's umbrella, there is only one girl to which that umbrella belongs to. So it has to have an apostrophe before the S. And it shows the possession that this girl possesses that umbrella. Apart from that, when you say girls' school, it has to have the apostrophe after S and not before, because it is a